All right, this is Bonnie Calcagno. I've been a government gang stalking target for 20 years, and in the last couple of years, I've been a torture victim. That's what, the title of this, by the way, is Tortured in the U.S. That's what veteran journalist Elisa Valdez Rodriguez experienced and why she said she left the country, because she had been targeted in a directed energy weapon attack, which she said left her permanently injured. Her reporting was on Epstein's compound in New Mexico and its involvement in the surveillance of 2 U.S. nuclear weapon labs. The reporter believed it was this reporting, as well as her reporting on the growing number of missing American scientists, that might have prompted the directed energy weapon attacks against her. This government gang stalking whistleblower has also experienced a variety of attacks inside my home and on the small parcel around it, the symptoms of which go away if I take a walk up the block or down the block or go into the community and shop at a store like Walmart. To identify what kind of weapon is being used in the most intolerable of my attacks, I researched what kind of weapon can cause vibrations inside the body. Sometimes the vibrations can be less, involving just a section of my body. Sometimes the vibrations can go from my feet up to my chest and make me feel like I'm going to have a heart attack, find it hard to breathe. One of the articles I found was an article from Science Direct citing a 2026 article from the Chinese Journal of Traumatology. The authors of the article used Chinese and English literature published from January 2000 to January 2024 for their research for this article for Science Direct. The kind of weapon I believe, after reading the article, may be used on me would be called an infrasonic weapon. The U.S. secretly used infrasonic weapons in Somalia, the Bosnian, and the Gulf Wars, the article said. It said the U.S. thinks its personnel in Cuba might have been attacked by an infrasonic weapon. These weapons cause organ resonance. Matching the frequency of the weapon to an organ can cause organ damage. Infrasonic weapons can damage the molecular structure of cells. It goes into the kind of infrasonic weapons that can damage the head, and the infrasonic weapons whose vibration frequencies can correspond to the vibration frequencies of organs in the body. It explained the frequencies for torso, heart, pelvic cavity, abdominal cavity. My stomach isn't the same since this happened. Abdominal wall, chest wall. Infrasonic weapons can cause tinnitus, palpitations, muscle spasms, difficulty breathing, or rupture of blood vessels and organ damage, the article said. The article said the injury extent of infrasonic waves to the human depends on their power, frequency, and duration of exposure. Some internal organs experienced noticeable vibrations. It went on. It's that sentence, that these weapons can cause noticeable vibrations in the body, that makes me think this might be the weapon involved in my body vibration torture. When the exposure stops, the symptoms disappear, the article said. I would add, unless they cause damage. These weapons can increase blood pressure, heart rate. Infrasonic weapons caused breathing difficulties and suffocation in dogs, death in monkeys and baboons. Even short-term exposure to some types of infrasound, a word that I believe can be used interchangeably with infrasonic, can cause damage to the body. Among the effects of infrasonic weapons are cardiovascular effects, increased heart rate, elevated diastolic blood pressure, chronic effects, rectal cancer, colon cancer, pancreatic cancer, and psychological effects. It goes on to say it's quite difficult to protect against infrasonic weapons. The best protection is to shorten the exposure. Unfortunately, I do not have the money to sell my house and flee as the investigative journalist did. Infrasonic weapons generate a large number of free radicals, the article went on to say, and other changes that can damage biological membranes, the article went on. Now, I'm not a scientist, so most of this article is Greek to me. All I know is I live in a twin house with an attached wall that seems to have been empty for a very long time. The reporting of Catherine Herridge makes me believe this makes me vulnerable, susceptible to new weapon attacks. A joined wall in an apartment in a twin house like mine. Who would do this? Well, I've been a government gang stalking target whistleblower for 20 years. You can go to my YouTube channel, just put in the search box, Bonnie Lee C. channel. Then, at my YouTube channel, listen to my letter to Congress, which details when my gang stalking changed from mobbing and unremitting harassment with things like noise to physical attacks with new weapons, possibly in the empty house attached to mine, possibly used by a neighbor gang stalker. In my neighborhood, I am surrounded by gang stalkers because that's what our gang stalking intel agencies do. They surround you with government gang stalkers to socially isolate you. Senator Rand Paul recently said he needed evidence when asked about government gang stalking. Consequently, I produced 3 videos showing how government gang stalking works. Put in Bonnie Lee C. channel in the YouTube search box, go to my playlist, find the playlist entitled Government Gang Stalking Explained. The 3 videos I made showing evidence of government gang stalking are number 19, Evidence of Government Gang Stalking, the Same Time Exit Entry Pattern, number 21, More Evidence of U.S. Government Gang Stalking, and number 22, Evidence of Government Gang Stalking Now Combined with Covert Weapon Attacks. I could make more, but if I do, I risk being tortured by our criminal intel agencies or one of their government gang stalking foot soldiers who live close to my house. The more I expose things through videos, the more I am tortured. There are ways to measure the effects of whole body vibration on the body. Articles on whole body vibration say it can cause health problems. The higher the vibration and the longer the exposure, the greater the problems. There's something called a human vibration meter, a personal whole body vibration meter that can measure the daily exposure to whole body vibration. But the one I saw online cost about $8,000. What this government gang stalking target and whistleblower, what the investigative journalist that I told you about has experienced, shouldn't be going on in America. Our intelligence agencies, their government gang stalking foot soldiers, their private contractors, shouldn't be torturing citizens. I am asking Congress to investigate and stop government gang stalking and to give us laws to prevent the torture of citizens with microwave, directed energy, and non-auditory infrasonic weapons, and any other new weapons the United States has. How can we celebrate America's 250th birthday in July in a nation where gang stalking and torture with new weapons is going on?